in the sand, guardian of the sand. Poseidon quivers before him.
Hey guys, Sweet Salandit here, and man do we have lots of new good Pokemon, and a lot of people are just weirded out by these new Pokemon. So, as a person who studies marine life, I shall be going into what's behind all these wacky and crazy Pokemon, and we can go from there. So first up on our list of what the heck is this is Crabrawler, the boxing Pokemon. 2 feet, 15 pounds, my gosh, this thing's less than my dog. Hypercutter Iron Fist. As we can see in the trailer, it's very good at punching things. Crabrawler has a personality that really hits loose. It's driven not only to aim for a higher position that fellows in terms of social standing, but literally to aim for a higher position in the landscape. Found clinging to tall people or walls of buildings, try to remove one. No, it's not punch. Favorite food is berries. So it'll punch trunks, trees to give the branches a good shake. Knock berries to the ground. They fight over it. And use its claws to protect itself. And its claws, of course, are delicious, like most crabs are. Now, most people would think, okay, so it's a punching crab. But there's more to it than that. Notice it's only fighting type. So we're looking for a terrestrial crab here. How would, say, there was bug and ground type for Dwebble and its evolved form, Crustle, because they were terrestrial crabs in the form of hermit crabs. However, you'll notice a severe lack of an external shell on top of this guy. Now, if you look at the shape of him, not counting the extended antennae and the comical black eye, he's very much resemblant of a coconut crab. Coconut crabs can be found all over Pacific Islands, which, as we know, with Sun and Moon is supposed to be based off Hawaii, which is part of Pacific Islands. And look how huge these things are. Just seriously, look at this thing. That's a coconut under one. And you notice it has the bulging bottom. That's all I know how to describe it. It has the bulging bottom, same as this thing does. And it's even got to bluish colors on some of these. See a dog there compared to these things. And as seen several times here, there, and there, you could just go down. There's probably even more pictures. They do climb a bit, which they have been known to fall into people's heads. Anyways, that's a pretty basic explanation of what this guy is. As for its type fighting, it's just, it fights over food. Oh, hey look, Kingler. Alright. On to the next one. Pyukumuku, the sea cucumber Pokemon. Of course, it is based off a sea cucumber. Ability enters out, oftentimes return to the same spot, similar to a sea cucumber. Or if it finds a place it won't budge. I actually had a pet sea cucumber for a while, and yes, they are very stubborn. Sadly, Larry kinda died when he ran into my starfish, who I thought I had been feeding enough. But apparently the starfish just thought otherwise. Covered with a slippery viscous fluid, moisturizing effect, correct. It hurls out its fist-like innards to strike. Sea cucumbers are real creatures. Most of them look like a bit of poop. But as you can see, Pyukumuku is very much like a shorter one. Of what species, I'm unsure. However, his appearance would seem to resemble that of a sea slug. So, Alolan Gastrodon confirmed? interesting thing to note is that he has a symbol for his mouth that resembles that of the fire blast. Duh. And Pyroar, which is the Japanese symbol for great or big. And I'm unsure if that will have anything to do with Pyukumuku later on, if it can evolve. Perhaps we'll see. However, it mentions it would spit out its organs. Now, as we could see, I actually did not plan this, it was literally right here. Sea cucumbers can spit out their organs. Let me go back up a bit. Like right here, they will end up spewing out their intestines, most of the time to be exact, in order to deter predators. However, most of the time after this, they're dead. So, not exactly the most helpful deterring of enemies. Next up, Wishy-washy. This guy's one of my little favorites. The small fry Pokemon. Small and weak, 8 inches from nose to tail. Very small even for Pokemon. It's terrifying to people because of its other form, which... the school form. Now, obviously, a single Wishy-washy is a reference to itty-bitty anchovies, just like the very tiny, wimpy Pokemon, wimpy little fish. However, there's way more species of fish that will do this. They will all gather up into a larger group. While they don't exactly copy what Wishy-washy does and looking like a bigger fish, most of the time these things end up becoming quite big, and most fish would rather stay out of it. So that's just a basic thing, and most people know what it's based on. I just wanted to touch on it while I was able to. Bruxish. Bruxish is the gnash teeth Pokemon. It has been known as being by some as the most fabulous Pokemon of all time, or the ugly duckling. Psychic and water type, this thing is very interesting. However, there's two fish that this thing can really be related to. Anglerfish, or if we look at the little video, you can see that it's a little fishing rod of sorts, resembling that of many anglerfish species. So it has a little glowing orb on the end, which I suppose could be seen as a way of protecting. Yet, as we can see, it serves as radar, so when it detects prey, it can leap to attack. However, the main influence of this thing, at least as far as I could see, is probably the Hawaiian triggerfish, which is a simpler way of saying Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Wapu Wow, or Pow. Or I apologize to anybody who speaks Hawaiian. I probably just insulted an entire island of people. But, well, there's people who speak Hawaiian other places. I mean, there's the president, so, I just insulted quite a bunch of people there. I'm sorry. I sincerely apologize. I'm awful at saying languages I don't know. As you can see, same basic shape among these creatures. And also, if we look at the ability, Tough Jaw, or Strong Jaw. That is what it is, right? Yeah, Strong Jaw. As you can see, I am not scripted for this. Strong Jaw is a correlation with the creature's strong jaws that it uses to actually pick at coral and smaller fish. Last and probably least, if we're all being honest here, of all these creatures is Wimpod, the Turn-tailed Pokemon, Bug and Water type. The interesting ability Wimp Out where it leaves if it loses half its health, or swaps out when it loses half its health, which will be interesting because it's almost like an eject button, and I guess some people might be able to find a use for that. It has toxic fluid signals towards each other, so perhaps it might evolve to part poison type, or at the very least, it might learn a couple poison type moves. Most people would think, oh, it's a Trilobite, which I could definitely see Trilobite. However, it's not part rock, which most ancient Pokemon are. So this is a creature that's still living today, which most resembles an isopod. Isopods are modern-day relatives of the trilobites we see today in the museums. These things oftentimes live very deep in the ocean, and I can tell you they are wimps. Swim away! Swim away! Some of them are even see-through like there. Oh my gosh, there's an isopod flush. Alright, I'm gonna be nerding out for a little bit now. But isopods, if you don't know, but isopods are actually also relatives of the little roly-poly bugs. At least that's what we call them where we live. They're wood lice. That's their usual name. Oh gosh. The tongue louse. Anyways, guys, that's the gist of all the songs. I'm sorry, guys, I'm getting really distracted here. I'm just a bit nerdy right now. Oh, there's chill bugs. Anyways, guys, that's the Alolan sea creatures that we know of so far. If you like it, please leave a like, comment, subscribble if you want. Have a great day. So long.